that, ladies and gentlemen. He is a brilliant young comedian. Will you please welcome Mr. Russell Howard? So, Russell, Russell just gave me an unusual handshake.
Yeah, I have to go lefty.
Why do you have to go lefty?
Because I've hurt my thumb.
Thank you. Does sound a bit like a big baby.
Yeah, well, it was about a month ago, and I cut my thumb, and I got the tendon infected.
Oh.
And I nearly lost my thumb.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what?
That was a different response to my family, who just laughed their arse off, right? My brother sent me a big foam hand when I was in hospital.
Well, that's not the most sympathetic thing you could do.
Not in any way. But...
So there was a serious chance you could have had your thumb off?
Yeah, the doctor said that, you know, we'll do our best, and I think we'll be able to save your thumb. Wow. Yeah, so I was like, please save it. And
you're right-handed, of course, so that would have meant you wouldn't be able to grip things in quite the same way. Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about that.
That was what my dad said as well.
Did he think that? Although in other ways it would have felt like a whole new start, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like one door closes, another one opens. But you're in the clear now?
I am. Yeah, it's totally fine.
OK. Now, you mentioned your dad and you mentioned your brother, and I know from our past meetings that you kind of get quite a lot of material from your family, don't you?
Yes, well, they're very funny.
And they don't mind yet? They're still quite happy for you to use them in that way?
Well, yeah, I don't think they mind, because they're just naturally... Like, the other day we were having Sunday dinner, and apropos of nothing, my mum said, I don't see the point of flavoured condoms. I mean, it's not like my fanny can taste. So... when you're faced with stuff like that...
It's a gold mine.
Yeah, exactly. And she just went on and on. Ooh, strawberries! Just carried on and on.
She wasn't cooking with them, was she? She wasn't using them in the dishes.
No, she wasn't, no. But they're just fun. Like, they came to see me when I was in the hospital and, you know, cheered me up. I was there for a week. Have you ever had general anaesthetic?
You know what? Once, many years ago, I had it, yeah, and I don't remember. I didn't enjoy it, but you wake up and...
It's the weirdest thing. I don't know if anyone's had it here, but... Because you can hear the words tumbling out of your mouth, but you can't stop them.
So you were just speaking without any filter whatsoever?
Well, and I had these two specialists that just saved my thumb, and I can hear myself say it's really embarrassing, just kind of... you need to get me out of here. And they were kind of, OK, do we need to get you out of here? Yeah. And I can hear the words coming out, and I don't know why I'm saying them. And I went, if I don't leave soon, nobody will save the princess. Right? And, yeah. I thought... I came to thinking I was a knight, and I genuinely had a moment where I grabbed a nurse and went, get me a horse. And then when I was fine for the rest of my stay, I could hear them, like, giggling under their breath.
That's sweet. You wanted to rescue the princess.
It's pathetic.
Oh, OK.
But it's great, though. It's kind of... Oddly, I'm quite lucky, really. Whenever I spend time... Like, I was in hospital for a week, just kind of walking around with my thumb up like that, and I met lots of funny people. So that's kind of what I do, really. And this guy said one of the funniest... Just when we sort of sat down, he went, I just see my wife give birth. And I was like, oh, what was that like? Was it great? And he went, no. And this is one of the funniest things I've ever heard. He went, no, it was like watching your favourite pub burn down. Like that. And you're like, you know, you feel like, oh, my God. So... And it's... That's kind of what I do, really. I just sort of seem to be quite lucky. I go around collecting these amazing stories.
You're a magnet for this.
Yeah, I'm a magnet for lunacy. That seems to happen a lot. Like...
But you're doing the West Country accent there, so presumably this was over in the West Country. This was over...
That's the only impression I could do. It was in Coventry.
It was in Coventry? Okay.
Yeah, I should say thanks to the people that... I can't even do a thumbs up, look at that.
Wow, they didn't fix it entirely then?
No, it's sort of a bit cack-handed, eh?
OK. Now, congratulations on Good News, because I love watching Good News. My kids love watching Good News, and they record it always. And you always seem to find... I mean, if you've seen the show, you'll know. Russell comments on stuff that he's seen. It's often on the internet or has been on news shows abroad. Yes. And you find some incredible stuff, don't you?
Well, there's just... I like the... As I was saying earlier, I sort of like the odd stories about the world. Like, my favourite one we found the other day, apparently, I don't know if you read this, but margarine makes teenagers aggressive, which is such a great... Accept me, man, I got a belly full of buttily. You know, it's just... So I like things like that. Australia's always very good as well because the way we covered the royal wedding was so different to the way they did. because we were very kind of, you know, we had a lot of respect for the royal family.
It was a wonderful event. Everyone came together.
It was absolutely brilliant. But there was this lovely moment on Australian TV where, on the news, where this woman thought it'd be a good idea to interview an Australian rules football fan, and she's kind of going, so what do you think they'll get up to on the honeymoon? And this bloke's like, am I allowed to say on telly? So she goes, yeah. She said yes, and the bloke went, I know. Like that, so you're like, bam. And it's like, wow. You would never... Imagine that in England.
Kylie.
But you wouldn't have that on News at 10, would you, Kylie?
That's no comment, no comment.
This isn't a tradition you want to tell us about, an Australian... it's BBC Three, I think, Thursday nights, is that right?
Thursday nights at 9 o'clock.
OK, and then being BBC Three repeated every day.
Absolutely, that's the great thing, yeah.
OK, here we have a clip. This is Russell's Good News. Look at this.
Take a look at this story from Peru.
There's a local mayor in Peru. I believe the town is called Huarme. His name is Jose Benitez, and he has decided that the water in his town is making the town gay.
The water is making people gay? You shouldn't laugh. He's right. I've been there, and the water is powerful stuff.
Now, this is good news.
You gotta love him.
He's not even gay. That's the incredible thing.
He's got kids.
He turned up for the shoot. He's like, right, what are we doing this then? Let's nail it.
We mentioned earlier on you have a large extended family.
Yes.
It's 40 cousins?
I think it's 40, yeah. But I don't know whether they're my cousins or my sort of second cousins, but they all kind of run around the house at Christmas. Yeah, it's great.
And so you get together at Christmas. You actually do hang out together?
Yeah, yeah.
Do they treat you at all differently because you have made a name for yourself on television, because you're well known?
No, not in any way. No, and that's what's great, really. They're just... Like, I've always been the quiet one in my family, so the rest of my family, it's like being in a Pogue song at Christmas. Everything's just kind of going off. There's blokes with beards and there's little kids. My cousin, who is 6, last Christmas I found him in a dog cage, like, in a dog cage, laughing to himself, saying, this is how a dog lives. You get. So, yeah, it just kind of... They're all pretty strange, really.
And...
That's pretty weird, though, eh? Yeah.
Are you a religious family? Do you celebrate Christmas in that way together? I heard that there was an exorcism at your house. Is this
there was, yeah, but that not to do with religion. That's my cousin Tracy that speaks to the spirits, and yeah, it's great. And that was a lovely thing. So we were sort of getting drunk and that, and everything's going off. And then Tracy comes in and went, "Are you not being funny? There's a ghost in your corridor." That's what you're gonna do. So she grabbed my other cousin Kylie, and they did an exorcism, and you could hear him in there. It was hilarious. Just kind of go, leave. What's this problem? Why won't he leave? And then at the end of the night, they were so serious. That's what's great about it. At the end of the night, she's kind of, it's all right, he's calm. We put him in the wheelie bin, like. It's like a really budget version of Ghostbusters.
Best place for him.
But so I'm sat there as a comic going... But the weird thing is, nobody believes me.
Yeah.
Because it all seems so mad.
It seems
so weird.
Invented.
Yeah,
but it sounds like it would be possibly the greatest reality show we could ever see if they could get a camera.
At Home with the Howards would be...
Yeah, we should try and get that off the ground.
I would love to do that, but, yeah, it'd be quite full on. Now, we'd have to go late night.
Often when we have comedians on the show, they're very funny people, but they're not the best-looking people in the world.
Right.
And you're not the best-looking person in the world. But... Let me finish, please. But you are a good-looking young man. You're much better looking than most comedians, and I know you have a big following of people who find you attractive.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And you're
I'm, you know, presentable as a comedian. But, you know, that's really saying much. Most comics are pretty...
Yeah.
You know.
Relatively unhuman.
Yes.
And you find yourself on lists, don't you? I've seen you on, you know, guys I like.
Yeah, but they're not so I'm always on this thing. They do in Heat magazine called the top 10 people that you fancy that you hate to admit that you fancy. So it's like sort of king of the mingers, essentially. And I've been beaten by... Last year, I was beaten by Simon Cowell.
Wow.
And I was beaten by...
We should point out this is in the poll, not... He didn't come up on...
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was beaten by the Stig. And the Stig, he doesn't even have a face.
He has a helmet.
So...
You know, that's a blank canvas. People can project on there.
You must have been on those kind of lists, because you're
kind
of... But you're that kind of...
I think I was Torso of the Week one week.
Have you been in... My dad would love to be in that. I think that would be my dad's ultimate ambition. He works out quite a lot, so...
Does he? So he's quite buff?
Yeah, he's kind of weirdly buff. He looks a bit like the Green Goblin. You know, he's kind of like Willem Dafoe, sort of like...
Oh, right. But he's not on the roids, is he? He's not kind of...
We think he might be on the roids. That's the weird thing. But he kind of like... He's sort of got to that age, he's 55. And he's quite buff, but he thinks he's allowed to wear lycra around the house.
Oh, no.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's like a lunging gimp, just kind of like walking around. Mum doesn't go in for that caper.
It's exciting to see her. I'm looking forward to the Susan again, but a tour as well? You're doing a tour at the moment?
Nope.
What?
No, I know. I'm going to try and do a tour probably next year.
Because you do pretty big venues now, don't you?
Yes, Ace, yeah.
OK, we've got Russell's DVD here. If
nice.
you're absolutely stuck for a gift this year, you'll be able to find this in petrol stations...
Yeah, you absolutely will.
...up to the very last minute.
Wait till January, you'll get it really cheap.
So, Russell, great to have you here. Russell Howard's Good News is on BBC 3 Thursday nights. If you haven't watched it, do yourself a favour and tune in. It's great fun. Lovely to have you here. Mr Russell Howard, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have you here. Stick around, because...